Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Last night, the Astros bats broke out in a big way to help bash the Brewers. Tonight, Jay Happ takes the mound as the Astros look for a sweep of the short two-game set. So break out the ice cream. It's time to celebrate. Astros baseball is next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, it's Game 2 of this brief two-game series. The Astros meet the Milwaukee Brewers. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. We watched the Astros snap their four-game losing streak last night and snap out of the offensive doldrums in the process, JD.
Yeah, the Astros had gotten to 9 straight games without scoring more than 3 runs in a ballgame. Last night they broke out with 8, and they got contributions from a lot of different hitters in the Astros lineup. You see Maxwell there. He got to start. Altuve using the other field. Carlos Lee had yet another multi-hit game. Lowry with a couple really good swings of the bat. J.D. Martinez chipped in with a sac fly. And then El Caballo went deep for the first time in a good long while. Nice to see that as the Astros finally had a nice easy win.
Well, coming up, as the fans root for Jay Happ and the Astros. Jay hoping to get the kind of run support Bud Norris got last night. His mound opponent will be Sean Markham. The Astros hope to continue to make those plays as well as hit. And we'll see the finale of this brief series next.
Houston is brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. As we take a look at the outside of Minute Maid Park, inside the park, it will be Milwaukee versus Houston. The Astros with Jay Happ and his teammates are on the field. So that means Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies are all set up in the booth.
Thank you, Greg. It is the finale of this oh-so-brief series, and there is a little drama that's been playing out in the Milwaukee bullpen where Sean Markham has been warming up for this start. He played catch on flat ground, as most pitchers do, before going up onto the bullpen mound, and he seemed to be clutching his left side during that loosening up session in the outfield. He was grabbing at the left side and bending over at one point. And his pitching coach, Rick Kranitz, was having a chat with him. So here's Sean Markham, and he continued to warm up without anybody warming up alongside him, JD.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a strain of rib cage muscle, something like that, or cramp. Maybe he just had too much to eat for lunch. I don't know. But he looks like he's ready to rock and roll. He's a gamer, a hard-nosed guy. We'll give it a go.
Hyundai brings you the starting lineup for the Brewers. Norichika Aoki leads off in center field. It's Ricky Weeks at second base. Ryan Braun in left field. Aramis Ramirez third base. Corey Hart right field. Jonathan Lucroy catcher. Brooks Conrad first base tonight. Cesar Izturis shortstop. Sean Markham pitcher.
Big J Happ goes for the Astros tonight, trying to improve on a 2-3 record with a 5.72 ERA.
Norichika Aoki leading off the game in center field instead of Niger Morgan. He's been getting some starts there in center. There's strike one to Aoki. This is his 8th game in center field, in fact, as a starter. He's 0 for 6 against Houston pitching this year. Jay missing to take the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. Happ is 2-2 in his career against Milwaukee with a 6.25 ERA. Got a no decision against them facing Markham in Milwaukee. Jose Altuve fields the first ground ball of the night, and the 2-hopper turns out to be out number 1.
Now let's check in with Doug Brocail for his scouting report on Jay.
Jay Happ's most effective when he throws his fastball for strikes. Usually Jay pitches off of his fastball and his cutter, which allows his curveball in later innings to become an out pitch. His changeup is what we've been really working on. He's trying to get a new grip, and that's leading to a lot of success.
Now Ricky Weeks will bat. Weeks has struck out 48 times, which is the top figure in the National League. Happ delivers strike one to Weeks, who has 4 homers, 7 runs batted in, and a 154 batting average.
Well, he looked lost at the plate last night. He was flailing away. Just too good of a hitter to struggle like that, but it happens.
Struck out 4 times last night, going 0 for 4. Ricky, 29 years old, a first-round pick in 03.
That's a good 2-strike breaking ball right there, especially with a struggling hitter, guy who's been scuffling. And Jay, 2-3, 5.72 ERA. His strikeout rate is up. Walk rate is down. League hitting 282 against him. He's got to keep the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed 2 home runs in each of his last 2 starts.
A little outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Weeks. Brian Knight is the home plate umpire.
It's not a good May.
Last year he hit 269. He's a career 255 hitter. Now the count runs full on Ricky. In addition to the high strikeout figure, he's also walked quite a bit, 23 walks, placing him 4th in the league. And now it's decision time.
5 out of 8 in his career against Jay with a home run.
And he's fouling it back. Ryan Braun on deck. Weeks just snapped an 0 for 21 slump with a homer a couple of days ago. Braun right behind him. The Brewers went 1-1 in their 2-game series in New York. Weeks with great numbers against Happ. Bouncer left side. Lowry lays back to get the hop. Takes care of out number 2.
Well, let's take a look at the Astros defensively this evening. Schaefer's in center. He's got Martinez on one side, Bogusevic on the other. Johnson, Lowry, big and little on the infield. Chris Snyder is the catcher tonight. Talked in the pregame about Jay Happ in his early game struggles. First inning ERA of 9 this year. It's kind of an oddity in that hitters are much better against him first time through the lineup. Usually hitters will tell you it's that second look they get at a starting pitcher where they kind of figure it out, but that hasn't been the case for Jay.
Ryan Braun takes. There's ball 1. And you saw the very good numbers for Braun, the defending MVP in the National League. Braun was 1 for 3 with a walk last night, a single. Not tempted by that one. It's 2-0.
Certainly have to put him in the, well, probably the top 5 in the league, wouldn't you? If you're trying to name the top 5 players in the National League, he'd probably be on that list.
Sure. .332 batting average last year. 33 homers, 111 runs batted in. Just a solid career. .312 lifetime average for Braun.
Yeah, and he runs well, and he's turned himself into a decent outfielder. Remember, he came up as a third baseman and then moved to the outfield. Staying away.
And this one goes to right center field, and that will loop in for a hit. Sliding Bogusevic. He comes up with it on the short hop, and it's a single for Braun. Bogey was very deep. He cut across, made the effort for it, but Braun's aboard with 2 outs.
But you're not going to get hurt out there. Good pitch down and away, and Braun able to get a base hit to right field. But against Ryan Braun in this situation, you just don't want to give him anything where he can knock one into the seats. You get 2 quick outs.
Braun's aboard for Aramis Ramirez, who's driven in 19. Strike 1 to Ramirez, a .230 hitter.
That fastball clocked at 90 miles an hour. Jay will sit right around 90, 91 miles an hour. Throws a slider and curveball equally in terms of the percentage. Also has a straight changeup.
Ramirez was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Throw goes over on Braun, who is 6 for 8 in stolen bases. Ramirez has been one of those Astro killers down through the years with 40 career homers against Houston. Looking at a ball that takes it to a 1-1 count. Ramos, 33 years old, born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He came up with the Pirates, traded to the Cubs in 2003, and then signed as a free agent, a 3-year deal last December to join Milwaukee. Snyder came up out of there and took a look at Braun at first base. It's 2 balls and a strike to Ramirez. The Brewers are 6th in runs scored in the National League. They are tied with the Astros currently with 16 and 21 records. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. First place St. Louis lost today at San Francisco 7-5. Second place Cincinnati lost at New York. Corey Hart's on deck. Happ is 2-2 at home this season with a 5.40 ERA. Runner goes. Snyder with the throw in the dirt, safe at second. Braun gets steal number 7.
We talked about his ability to play the whole game. 7 steals. He's been caught a couple of times. This play by Altuve to handle that short hop from Snyder. Throw was accurate, just a little bit short of the target. And the tag applied to the hip after the foot got on the bag. Close, but a good call.
3-2 pitch is punched out of play. Ramirez hit .306 for the Cubs last year. Braun now in scoring position. Ramos drove in 93 last season. The Brewers as a team have a low batting average with runners in scoring position, .228. Popped up. Jay got in on him that time, and that's about all he could do. He lifts it out of play. Still a full count. Milwaukee won 2 of 3 from Houston in Milwaukee in mid-April, and so the season series is tied at 2-2. These 2 teams will be saying farewell to each other after this game tonight until July 6th here at Minute Maid Park.
The Brewers overall hitting just .235 as a team, but they hit a lot of home runs.
Good battle here as Ramirez fouls off another one. 8 pitches so far. Thought Norris was quite something last night, beating Milwaukee with 4 hits and 1 run allowed in 7 innings. He walked 2 and fanned 9.
It's on quite a roll.
It really is. He's won his last 3 starts. That's out into center field. Schaefer comes in to field the liner. And after the long battle, Happ gets out number 3. No runs a hit, a runner stranded in scoring position. Milwaukee nothing. Houston coming up with Schaefer, Altuve, and Martinez. Brought to you by Hyundai. It's Jordan Schaefer in center field. Jose Altuve at second base. J.D. Martinez bats third in left field. The cleanup man is a hot hitter, Carlos Lee at first. Jed Lowry's the shortstop with Brian Bogasevic in right field. Chris Johnson batting seventh, plays third. It's Chris Snyder behind the plate and Jay Happ on the mound.
30-year-old Sean Markham, a right-hander, goes for the Brewers tonight. You look at his lines from his last 3 outings. All told, that's 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. Is not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any start this year. He is the crafty righty.
He really is. 30 years old, from Kansas City, Missouri. Southwest Missouri State University. Schaefer attacks the first pitch and hits a lazy pop foul.
I was going to say he's the stereotypical crafty righty, but there's no such thing.
No.
That's safe for left-handers. Here's the defense. Aoki won multiple Gold Gloves over in Japan. Hart's got a good arm in right. Bush Conrad making just his second start at first. Store's pretty slick there at short. Weeks, Ramirez round out the infield. McCroy the catcher.
Schaefer was 1 for 4 last night, shortening up there, showing bunt. He drove in an RBI in the 4th last night, and then he was part of a double steal. 248 for Jordan, a 326 on base percentage. The Astros are 11-8 at Minute Maid Park.
Markham will give you a little bit of everything. Big slow curveball, slider. He'll throw 2 seamers that sink, a cut fastball. One thing he won't throw you very often is just a straight fastball. Has a dandy of a changeup. So all those attributes you usually attribute to again the crafty lefty. He does it from the right side. His average velocity probably the lowest among all conventional style right-handed pitchers in the league. That kind of knuckleballers.
Strike 3. Yeah, he won't throw you the kitchen sink, but he might throw you the bathroom rug.
Yeah. There's a lot to think about. And he'll spend as little time in the strike zone as possible. And if he gets borderline calls, he's going to be awfully tough.
He was not getting those calls in the game in Milwaukee when he faced Jay Happ. He got a no decision. And in 5 innings, he allowed 3 earned runs. He walked 4. Jose Altuve at 309 has 2 homers, 13 driven in, 358 on base percentage. And comes in high, ball 1. Altuve last night had a single, a walk, stole a base. He's hit .563 against Milwaukee this year.
3 for 4 off Markham.
Line shot, and that's in front of Aoki. Look at 4 for 5. Well, Altuve gets on with 1 out for J.D. Martinez now.
I hit a base hit to right field last night, and again, I like this approach, keeping the hands in, looking to go the other way. He had been rolling over, hitting a lot of ground balls to the left side. He's probably due to go on a bit of a tear here.
Seems to be a streaky sort, doesn't he? J.D. Martinez, the batter. He's been going on a reverse tear lately.
I think the thing with Altuve, he has such good eye-hand coordination. He puts the ball in play a lot. I mean, he's walked a little bit more, and he struck out probably more in terms of the rate as he did in his minor league career because he's trying to be more patient. But he's the kind of guy, if you throw it in the zone, he can hit it. You know, if he wants to hit it, he's going to make contact.
Strike to J.D.
So when he gets out of his game a little bit, he's making contact on pitches that he can't really do a lot with, and he's turning those into outs. But if he's patient and gets a ball he can center, he's going to hit it harder, and the hits will fall in.
Martinez was 0 for 2 with a sac fly and a walk last night. Had a couple of hits the day before in Philly, and that snapped an 0 for 26 for him. So he's hoping he's turned the corner. Another throw to first base. Brooks Conrad has been primarily a second baseman, third baseman in his career. He said he had played some first base this season at AAA before being called up. This is his second start at first base for the Brewers. With Matt Gamble out for the season after surgery, the Brewers looking at different people at that position. Last night it was Travis Ishikawa who bats left. Conrad's a switch hitter. Altuve's wearing out that dirt there.
Yeah, they got Ishikawa, and Taylor Green also plays first base, but they both hit left-handed. And Ron Renicky wanted to get as many right-handed bats into this lineup as possible against Happ here tonight, so Conrad gets a shot.
That squirted foul. No balls, 2 strikes. The off-speed stuff you told us about from Markham is a real challenge to a hitter who has not seen very much of him. J.D. Martinez is 2 for 5 against him with an RBI, but that's still a challenge.
He disguises it well. And again, it's any pitch on any count. So you know that old mindset, I'm going to work my way into a fastball count and then exploit that advantage, doesn't really exist with Markham.
Markham has not had much run support. His ERA is 3.07. He's 2-1. He gets a swing and a miss and a strikeout from Martinez. Markham has had 6 quality starts out of 7, but his team is 2-5.
Cut fastball off that outside edge and down, and JD pulling off of it. And again, I think against Markham, you almost have to have that approach that you have off of Jamie Moyer type, or even the knuckleballer R.A. Dickey for the Mets. Just stay back, try to see the ball as long as possible, be willing to shoot it the other way. And that's tough because when you got a guy on the mound that doesn't throw 94 miles an hour, you feel like you should be able to inflict some damage. You get aggressive, and he takes advantage of that.
Carlos Lee has been sizzling, as you saw the last 3 games especially. Strike 1 right on the corner to El Caballo. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. Batting average up to 305. 3 homers, 18 runs batted in. During that 5-game streak, he's 11 for 21. Hit his first homer after 69 at-bats without one last night. He's had 4 straight multi-hit games now. Lays off that pitch, and that takes it to a 1-1 count. Carlos, a former Brewer, has come back to haunt against Milwaukee pitching this season. He is 9 for 17 with a homer and 5 runs batted in. Runner going. Here's a throw from Lucroy. It's high and off the glove of Weeks. On through into center. Altuve springs up and heads for third. After steal number 8 in 9 tries, he's at third base, coupled with the throwing error of Lucroy.
Did not have a particularly big lead. Got a quick first step.
It was.
It's hard not to when you're that stature.
He was part of a double steal last night. He stole second while Jordan Schaefer stole third. So that gets him to 8 for the year. And the count's 2-1. In the dirt, Lucroy does a good job of smothering that one, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Brewers signed Lucroy to a 5-year contract.
He's rewarded that.
He sure has.
Tearing it up, hitting .337.
Their starting pitchers' combined ERA is next to last in the league, 4.42. That one floats up for a strike.
But I think in that number is where Brewer fans find hope, because I just think this rotation is going to pitch a lot better than that going forward. You know, as long as they stay healthy. You got Gallardo, Greinke, Markham leading this rotation. I think at the end of the day they're going to be pretty darn good.
Crack bat back to Markham. And he puts up a 0 in the first with 1 Houston hit, 1 error, and 1 left. 0-0 after 1.
Join the Astros for Flashback Friday tomorrow as they take on the Rangers at 7:05. Nolan Ryan will toss out the ceremonial first pitch, and the Astros will wear the 1960s shooting star uniforms on the field. Fans will also enjoy Friday night fireworks courtesy of Marathon Oil Corporation. Root now for Astros.com. Bill?
Very big night coming up. Thanks, Patty. There is Corey Hart taking strike 1, leading off the second inning of a scoreless game. 246 for Hart, 8 homers. He's driven in 18. He has 19 extra base hits, tied for 4th in the league. Happ delivers a strike and quickly is in front. No balls, 2 strikes. Hart homered last night and also drew a walk. 7 for 15 against Jay. The field is shifted around as he swings and misses and strikes out. Number 1 of the night for Jay Happ.
Again, good sharp 0-2 breaking ball, exactly where you want to put it, down in the dirt by that back foot.
Well, this place will be teeming with activity over the weekend with that Rangers series, as Patty told us, starting tomorrow night at 7:05. Jonathan Lucroy came up with a pinch hit 2-run triple last night to pad his RBI count to 19. He has 2 homers with a .337 average.
381 on base, .510 slugging. Boy, never mind McCann and Posey.
Yeah.
Lucroy and Ruiz leading the way for National League catchers this year.
He had a 9-game hitting streak. Good receiver. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jonathan's 25 years old from Eustis, Florida. Jay gets him to swing and miss.
Good change up there. Everything looking crisp, perhaps so far tonight. Beautiful change up. Throwing in on his knuckles. Going back away.
He missed up, but got a foul ball.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see him shoot that fastball up and in. It's tougher to get to. I think you get more swings and misses if you throw that ball in and up as opposed to up and away. A little easier to get to up and away.
Right. That young man got to it without having to move from his seat. But yeah, if he goes up and in, then that change up low and away that he threw earlier.
Or even just to, you throw that fastball in a little bit and up, you're more likely to get a swing and miss than one away.
And that's hooked foul. Tomorrow night it's Wandy Rodriguez and Neftali Feliz. We'll be on the air at 6:30 with Astros Live for that matchup. Big Fox, Channel 26 in Houston, will carry the Saturday night game at 6 o'clock for lefty Derek Holland and Lucas Harrell. Sunday, we're back on the air at 12:30 with Astros Live leading up to that Colby Lewis and Jordan Lyles matchup.
Rangers come to town having lost today in 10 innings up in Arlington. The A's got them 5-4.
They're still sporting a very enviable record of 24-15 right now.
Yeah, they lead the league in everything.
They sure do. Struck him out looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jay Happ.
Most impressive start. Again, we're talking about the crispness of his pitches and then the location. This fastball right on the outside edge, knee high.
Now, former Astro farmhand Brooks Conrad comes up. Lucroy retired. Conrad's looking for his first hit of the season with the Brewers. He's 0 for 16. Fouls it back. There's strike one. Brooks recalled fondly the good years he had at Round Rock when Round Rock Express was the Astros AAA affiliate. And he said the fans there were fantastic. He was drafted by the Astros in 01. 1 ball, 1 strike. Made his way to Oakland and Atlanta. Milwaukee signed him this January as a free agent. He's from California, went to Arizona State. Happ dots the corner with that one. It's 1-2 for Jay. Brooks is 32 years old now.
Don't forget about that one.
Not at all.
Stay there.
That's a great pitch. And strike 3. He strikes out the side. He gets Lucroy and Conrad looking. And that is a great second inning for Jay Happ in a scoreless game at Minute Maid Park. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Here at Minute Maid Park, it's a scoreless game. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Jed Lowry leads it off against Sean Markham. And it appeared that Markham was injured when he was starting his warm-ups, but he looked pretty good in the first inning. Looked like the Markham of old. Lowry goes for his first pitch, puts it in the air, and the shortstop is Torres. Looks out at the center fielder Aoki. One pitch, one out for Markham. He needed only 15 pitches in a scoreless first inning.
Well, the Astros, did a number of things well last night, primarily scoring some runs because they haven't been doing that at all. But they walked 3 times. I was looking back through my scorebook, unless I may have missed 1 or 2, but by my count, they drew 6 unintentional walks on the last road trip. And so much of their early success this year was because, and they're not just drawing walks, but they were more, patient at bats, getting into hitters' counts, getting good pitches to hit. And I think once they started to struggle as a group, they just started to attack too early, started to get impatient at the plate.
Brian Bogusevic, the infield, shifting him around to pull, takes strike 1. 234 for Brian, 1 homer, 10 runs batted in. Justin Maxwell played right field last night, and it's fouled away. 0-2. It's interesting to see the way they deploy, and the Brewers do a lot of shifting. They really pay attention to those charts on the hitters. But there's a note in the Astros notes. 19 of Brian Bogusevic's 25 hits have gone to left fielder up the middle. Now those are hits. So the ground outs, yes, he has hit a lot of those to second base. That pitch is up.
He went through a stretch there where he was rolling over on a lot of balls, hitting ground balls to the right side. To me, his biggest issue is just he needs to get the ball airborne to use his. He's so strong.
Ricky Weeks
got out of his game there.
Yeah, that's the way they were playing him. They got him to roll over on it.
Yeah. Again, the numbers for Brian not real good, but I'm still bullish on him. He's so strong. You watch him take BP, and it's really impressive.
He does put on a show. Weeks took it from the outfield grass over to Conrad. 2 outs, and it's Chris Johnson. CJ at 280 with 4 homers has driven in 20. He was 0 for 4 last night. Markham wasn't the same guy in the second half of the season last year, and then in the playoffs he really wilted. He was 0-2 in the league championship series against St. Louis with an ERA above 16. So Brian Anderson, who does the Milwaukee TV games and is next door to us, was telling us the story about Markham rededicating himself to conditioning for a longer season, including playoffs. Line shot to left field. Drawn over. Johnson takes the big turn and jams on the brakes as the throw comes in off the glove of the shortstop is Torres. Well, Markham, Brian Anderson said, really hit the gym, went on a different type of conditioning program than he had in previous years. And he said he put his line score from those playoff games up on the wall as he worked out as a reminder that he needed to prepare for a longer season.
2-2 with an ERA above 5 in September last year for Markham.
And he made only a couple of spring training starts, but there he is with a 3.07 ERA. He had some shoulder tightness in spring training. Chris Snyder, 154 with a homer, has driven in 6. Ball 1. Jason Castro did the catching last night. Jay Happ is on deck. That's off the plate for ball 2 to Chris Snyder. Limited tickets are available for the Saturday night game of the Rangers. Still tickets left for Friday and Sunday, but it should be a very well attended weekend series. We hope to see you out here. Interleague play starting this weekend. Strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Greg Lucas was telling me, JD, we sometimes miss certain sections of the pregame show, Astros Live, but Once a week they're doing a segment on the American League West to bring everybody up to date on what's happening out there, since that will be the Astros division next year.
We all know a lot about the Rangers. We played them 6 games a year for years, but some of the other guys, we got to know who they are.
Well, you know, there's
Ichiro. I know Ichiro.
Yeah.
You know, Ichiro, he's 38. You know that we probably won't see him next year, but Manny Ramirez is going to be an A by the end of the month.
Yeah. Well, you know, King Felix with Seattle.
And we do know Albert.
But the surprise team is Oakland. Oakland's playing .500 ball.
They got a lot of guys we don't know.
Josh Reddick is tearing it up for the A's.
How did you know that?
I see him on the highlight shows hitting home runs.
Yeah.
I think he hit one today, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
They're only 4 games behind the Rangers. Everybody's been talking about how the Rangers got off such a hot start, but they're only 4 games ahead of the A's.
3 balls and a strike.
You know, with Mulder, Zito, and Hudson, they're bound to stay in there. That kind of pitching.
Talk about flashback Fridays. You got some flashback thinking going. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Automatic go here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Markham living on that outside edge. Now be careful of Big Chris. He's long and strong. He can lean out and hook one of those into the seats on you.
Sure could.
Don't do your work inside. Just make him aware of only one side of the plate. You may pay a price. They're coming in.
And a swing and a miss ends the Astros' second inning. Strikeout number 3 for Markham. No runs on a hit and no score.
Cancer history. May 17, 1963. Don Nottebart throws the first no-hitter in franchise history, defeating the Phillies 4-1 at Colt Stadium. Listen to how the Houston Chronicle led the story. A huff and puff man of great New England chess, Don Nottebart blew down the Philadelphia Phils, Friday nighting Houston's first Major League no-hitter. He did it with his little slider, a great slip pitch, heart, and the help of a stout-hearted team determined that he would have one of baseball's great classic victories. They don't write like that anymore. That was in the Houston Chronicle.
Very flowery.
Cesar Torres pushes a bunt. Jay Happ comes in, spins around, throws to first, and gets him. 1 pitch, 1 out in the third after Happ struck out the side in the second.
Torres trying to bunt his way aboard. Not able to push that one past Happ. Calm, cool, collected, well executed. 1 quick out.
Sean Markham has 1 hit and 15 at-bats this season for an .067 average, but he's better than that for his career, 131. 1 homer. That homer was a grand slam. Ball 1 to Markham. Brewers go back home to play the Minnesota Twins in interleague play over the weekend. 1 ball, 1 strike. So these two teams will be playing widely divergent opponents. Let's see, Minnesota 297 winning percentage, the worst in baseball. And Texas is among the best teams in baseball right now, if not the best. Many people say the Rangers are the best team right now.
I think they're atop the power rankings.
Okay.
I think they're going to go to a major bowl.
Well,
probably.
That's important for recruiting. Line shot goes foul.
At the beginning of this Lone Star series, Astros were the dominant team. At least were a better team than the Rangers. Right? I don't remember how those series played out, but obviously the Rangers have been very good. They've won this Silver Boot 5 years in a row.
And they won the season series last year.
Time to reclaim the boot.
It was 4-2 last year. So that battle starts tomorrow night. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Markham. Nolan Ryan will meet with the media before all the festivities tomorrow night, and that's someone out walk. Patty?
Well, hey, Astro fans, Chevy is proud to present a new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Houston, or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. And hey, fans out there at home, my fan of the game selection is wide open for tonight. So if you've got a family member or friend out here at the game that might want to be or might qualify to be my fan of the game, just look me up on Twitter and let me know where they're sitting and why they should be the fan, and I'd be happy to go track them down, guys.
All right, thanks, Patty. There's strike one to Aoki. He grounded out earlier. Let's see, in 2001, the Astros and Rangers split. The Astros won the series 4-2 in 02 and 03. Pitch misses, and it's a 1-ball, 1 strike. Recently, though, it's been Rangers. The last 3 years have gone the Rangers' way, 4-2, 5-1, 5-1.
Rangers television today, they were saying they've won the boot 5 years in a row. So they're lying?
No, they're not lying. Line shot, right field corner. And now Markham has to run, and he's going to third base with a stop sign there as the ball comes back into Altuve on a double by Aoki. His second double of the year.
Aoki in Japan, his reputation was that of a guy who, we talk about Altuve. Aoki the same way, could put the bat on the ball, hit the ball all over the place, didn't hit for a lot of power, but spray the ball around the field. Here he yanks one into the right field corner for extra bases. Kind of where did that come from? Walk to Markham. That's the key here. It's like, as good as Jay had been for the first couple innings, all of a sudden he walks Markham.
Well, I think it's to make Markham run the bases because he has that side injury.
Tremendous thinking.
Very subtle strategy, JD. Ricky Weeks is the batter. He grounded out to short. Infield playing back with 1 out, and there's strike 1. Actually, the Rangers did not lie on TV because
nobody ever did.
No, that 3-3 split in 08, they won that one on run differential. So for the last 5 years, they've won the Silver Boot since 06 when the Astros took 4 out of 6. That's a 50th pitch for Happ, and it's strike 2.
Well, this is a situation where he's gotten that hard, sharp breaking curveball down in the dirt a couple of different occasions here. 0-2 on right-handed hitters. And you have to have the confidence to make that pitch with the man on third base. Trust your catcher to block it if indeed that is how they're going to try to finish off Weeks here.
Works for me. Ground ball, Chris Johnson. Now he looks at the plate, throws late to first base. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. He took a look at Markham. Markham was just a few steps off third. And Weeks is credited with a hit.
Good job here by Markham, drawing the attention of Chris Johnson just long enough to allow Weeks to beat the play at first base. Would have been a close play anyway. Weeks really runs well, but the little hesitation there, and there was no chance at that point to get him.
Well, you captured that phrase much better than Elmer Fudd would have.
Yeah, I started down that path of Weeks really runs well, and I was going all Barbara Walters here.
Bases loaded, 1 out for Ryan Braun. He singled to right center earlier and stole a base. And Braun lifts it near the right field line. Carlos Lee over to foul territory. Markham's tagging. Lee will make the catch and now throw to the plate, but Markham doesn't come to the plate, and the Brewers are happy he didn't. Nice one-hop throw from Carlos Lee from deep into foul ground and way beyond first base.
Yeah, a non-pitcher may have tried to score on this ball. Somebody like Weeks who could run a little bit, but they're not going to send Markham. That was Aramis Ramirez coming up. Markham just trying to draw a throw. Successful to at least get that much done. But I'm still impressed by his base running on the previous play. A lot of pitchers would have just retreated to the bag there, and it wouldn't have been an issue for CJ.
True. Aramis Ramirez lined to center first time up. Shoots that one foul for strike one. Ramirez has 9 grand slams in his career with Markham, Aoki, and Weeks, the base runners. .348 is his bases loaded batting average. That pitch looked pretty good.
Pitch, it's been good all night so far. Ryan Knight's had a wide zone, a big zone.
One ball, one strike. That's good for strike two.
And it's further out but up a little bit more with the changeup. So he's been middle and then away. And again, can't forget about doing your work inside.
Foul away. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The Astros are 58-36 against the Brewers here at Minute Maid Park. It is a 2-game series, but they can make this their second series sweep of the year. They swept the Mets in a 3-game set. Haven't swept Milwaukee since a couple of years ago at Minute Maid Park. Breaking pitch grounded. Chris Johnson makes the throw to end it in the Milwaukee third. They had the bases loaded, 1 out, did not score, left 3, and it's scoreless.
AT&T Trivia Time. Our question today has to do with the Brewers. During their 7 years as an American League franchise, one Brewer won Player of the Month 3 times. Who was it?
And during 7 years, they were an American League franchise for longer than 7 years.
Well, during their American League franchise, I think it's 7, though. But anyway, one Brewer won Player of the Month 3 times.
Robin Yount.
That is wrong, but my first clue is, what is a barrel maker?
Cecil Cooper.
Nice.
See, we inform fans on two things. You got the right answer, and everyone knows what is a barrel measure, a Cooper.
A Cooper, yeah. Not everybody knew that. Now they do.
Yeah, there they do. See, that's the whole purpose of this. It's informed.
Very.
There's our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Cecil Cooper, 3 times Player of the Month during the American League years in Milwaukee.
By the way, Greg, we forget to mention to people that if they watch every Astros game all season long, they do get 2 hours of college credit.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's why Cooper, he's on everybody's all-occupation team.
Yes, that's
and all the Smiths and Baker, and Butcher,
Yeah.
Preacher Rowe.
Yeah. Jay Happ's 2 for 13. Sean Markham misses there, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
You know that Jay Happ was the all-time leading scorer at St. Bede Academy in Peru, Illinois?
Nope.
You know that now, see?
What was his average? Any idea?
I don't know, but I bet you he had a nice little mid-range jump shot.
Oh, yeah, you know, 8-footer. He would have been good at clearing the boards, too, don't you think?
Yeah, long arms.
2 hopper goes out to Ricky Weeks. 1 out for Mark.
Then he just tore it up at Northwestern. Patty?
Well, the Astros battle the Rangers in the second game of the Lone Star Series on Saturday at 6:15. Head to the ballpark early as 10,000 fans will receive a Nolan Ryan Greatest Moments bobblehead commemorating his record-setting 5th no-hitter, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Root now and buy tickets for Saturday at Astros.com. Bill?
Oh, yeah, that'll be highly treasured, that bobblehead. Saturday night, number 34 in the house, all weekend. The Rangers and Astros meeting. Jordan Schaefer struck out looking in the first. But he takes strike 1.
So no indications from Markham yet that side is bothering him.
Not at all.
Looked for a while like he might not be able to answer the bell. Apparently that's cleared up.
Gets a swing and a miss there for strike 2. He's been in a good place with his pitching. Last 3 starts have been superb for him.
He's got that nasty changeup. Really likes to use it against left-handed hitters.
It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Markham. Last time out he beat the Cubs. 7 innings of 3-hit 1-run baseball. He had a couple of beautiful starts against the Astros last year. Shutout ball. Master of changing speeds. That's pull foul. Yeah, Bobby Meacham. He had to get down quickly.
Playing a step or 2 deeper now.
Yeah, he backs up. Markham twice at Houston, both times. Pitched 7 innings of shutout ball last year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jerry Narron, the bench coach for the Brewers, said, "Oh, we're going to miss this place." You know, you hear comments like that from the teams that have been in the NL Central Division, enjoy coming to Houston for 3 trips a season. It's hit near the left field line, a pop-up, and Ryan Braun will have to pick it up after it bounces, and here's the throw to second, not in time, a double. Schaefer hustled that one into double number 6 of the year.
Just a well-placed little flare down the left field line, and the Astros have a 1-out, a double. Good hustle here by Schaefer. Got fooled by that off-speed pitch earlier. This time he just carves it into left. No hesitation from Braun, but Schaefer going hard all the way. The head first slide, able to beat that throw.
Might have gotten kicked in the head by Weeks on this.
Oh, got a little bit.
Well, with 2 strikes, though, that's just such a beautiful thing for Jordan Schaefer. He struck out 42 times this year and was able to make contact with 2 strikes in the count, make something happen with his legs. Now Altuve, he lined a single to center field. And a turn towards second. Schaefer goes back in. Altuve went 3 for 3 against Markham in Milwaukee on the 25th of April.
Stealing third base makes most sense when they're one out, so obviously it's a time when the team in the field is going to defend it a little bit more aggressively, and Weeks keeping a close watch on Schaefer out there.
Out of play, strike one.
We talk a lot about pitchers changing the look for a base runner, whether they're trying to steal second base or third base. You want to vary your looks back at the base runner. You don't want to fall into a rhythm. A lot of guys will look back once, then pitch. And sometimes what is effective is not looking back at all, because the base runner's cueing off your look. You look and then you go home. You look, then you go home. So sometimes if you don't look at him at all, he gets no read, no jump.
Good point. Markham comes over, takes a look at third.
It's just the optimism of
wow.
It's just taking nothing for granted, I guess.
That was interesting. 2 outs, Schaefer to third base.
Just in case he blew out a hamstring, I want to take a look over my shoulder, see if he's laying there on the ground between second and third, because you know you don't have a play on him. It's called doing your due diligence there.
Well,
taking nothing for granted.
It's Milwaukee and Houston. It's 0-0 in the bottom of the third inning. It's J.D. Martinez batting, and Jordan Schaefer, after a pop fly double, has reached third base. Bill Brown, Jim DeShays, Greg Lucas, Patty Smith, Kevin Eschenfelder, Steve Sparks.
A cast of thousands.
Larry Durker's in the house. Nolan Ryan's here tomorrow. J.D. Martinez struck out earlier. Little chop. Markham throws to a stretching Conrad for the third out. No runs ahead, a runner left at third base. Both clubs with scoring opportunities in the third, but no score.
A smoother pour. It's not just a good time. It's Miller time. Not Wade Miller.
Well, we used to say it was
Miller
Wade
Park.
Miller time, yeah. Miller Park.
He owns the Brewers.
Corey Hart leads it off in a scoreless game in the fourth inning. He struck out in the second. There's ball one to him. Jay Happ has thrown 10 of 13 first pitch strikes prior to that one. 58 pitches for Jay so far. That's ball two, and it's 2-0 to Hart. Toronto leads the Yankees 2-1. They're in the bottom of the sixth inning in Toronto. Jose Bautista hit his 10th home run.
See, Albert went deep again for the Angels today.
Did he?
Hit home runs at back-to-back games now. He's up to 3, so it looks like he's coming out of it.
Jim Eppert fixed him. New hitting coach. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mickey Hatcher had been the hitting coach for what, 13 years under Socia?
I believe so.
And Angels have been shut out 8 times this year, so he was fired. Jim Eppard promoted. Ground ball shortstop. Lowry positioned perfectly. Takes care of out number 1.
Well, so far the pitcher's in complete control of this game. It's been a fairly wide strike zone from the home plate umpire, but the pitcher's still doing their part, exploiting it. Markham in half. Dot corners with the fastball. Good breaking stuff. A lot of frustrated hitters to this point. Schaefer with that double gave the Astros a scoring chance. Couldn't catch in. The Brewers had the bases loaded in the 3rd. Couldn't do anything with it. They remain nada. Not
a bad thing. Jonathan Lucroy struck out looking in the 2nd. That's deep to left center field. Martinez calling no.
Didn't get it.
Didn't really carry, did it?
End of the bat.
Sounded pretty decent.
Put a home run swing on it, but he didn't hit it with the home run part of the bat.
Brooks Conrad is next. He struck out looking back in the 2nd.
Good looking swing by Lucroy. You see down off the end of the bat there.
Yep.
Home run eyes, though. He gave it a good look.
Fooled us, didn't he?
Yeah. Sometimes you can't trust the eyes.
Love it. Hitters coming back, shaking their heads. How many times do they do that?
All the time.
Yeah.
I can't believe he got away with that. Throwing that slop up there. I can't believe I didn't hit that 700 feet.
Such a common sight when guys come back to the bench after making a routine out.
Hitters, they never want to give the pitcher credit. They never got beat. They just messed up.
1-1 to Conrad. Pittsburgh 4, Washington 3. They've played 6 in Washington. Rod Barajas hit his 3rd. 1-2. Andrew McCutchen hit his 4th and 5th.
Jay living on that outside edge.
Little chop right back to him. He got Conrad to reach for it. And it's a 1-2-3 4th inning to keep this game scoreless.
Back in the box right now, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo. And buy the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. Always a lot of miles in the tank when we go to the booth with Bill Brown and Jim DeShays.
Just don't be accused of not knowing Jack. Bottom of the 4th inning. And it's Lee Lowry and Bogusevic for the Astros against Sean Markham. Carlos Lee grounded back to Markham back in the 1st inning. He's a guy who really enjoys playing the game. Greg was interviewing him, and you see a big smile on his face. He's doing another TV interview on the field before batting practice tonight. There's ball one. Not afraid to show his enjoyment of the game when he's actually on the field. A lot of guys maintain that stony face when they're playing, of course. Once it goes foul, it's 1-1. Atlanta's shutting out Miami 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Freddie Freeman hit his 7th homer.
It's interesting. A couple weeks ago, Brian Evans, home plate umpire, and Jim Leland got ejected from the game. Verlander was pitching and leading up on it earlier, and all the complaints were that Brian Knight had a real tight zone.
Okay.
But not tonight.
Nope.
It's a good pitcher zone tonight.
Yeah,
not crazy big, just good pitcher zone.
Carlos didn't like that last call, and he's this one out of play.
Well, the hitters are just going to have to make an adjustment. Pitchers continue to pound away at that corner, down and away. You have to be willing to shoot the ball the other way.
Well, it's totally different from April 25th in Milwaukee when Markham was facing the Astros and Joe West was the home plate umpire. And a guy like Markham really needs that precision of getting corner calls. He likes to live out there, doesn't he? And if he doesn't get them, he doesn't have that rocket-powered fastball to come in right over the plate.
Right, he has to go to more of a plan B. I think he can still trick you in the strike zone with his off-speed stuff, but he's certainly good enough and savvy enough to exploit a wide zone.
Right. That's a better way to put it, really. That's a shot to right field and a liner for a hit for Carlos. Nice 2-strike swing, and he has a 6-game hitting streak now.
But what Markham can't do is just overpower you in the strike zone with his fastball. That good off-field approach. We've seen a lot from Carlos lately, and again, I think that's always a good plan against a guy like Markham, and maybe doubly so tonight with this strike zone.
True. First time the Astros have placed the leadoff man on in an inning. Jed Lowry hit the first pitch in the air to center field in the second. It's Brendan Beachy shutting out Miami for Atlanta, 7-0 bottom of the 6th inning. He's had quite a year. Carlos Lee's hitting .357 in May. Ball one to Lowry.
Beachy is out of control for Atlanta.
Isn't he, though? Let's see, his ERA is 1.41. The Braves are looking strong, as they usually do. They're right there, a half game behind Washington coming into play today. Boston leads 3-2 at Tampa Bay. They're in the bottom of the 6th. Cody Ross hit his 7th homer. Marlon Byrd, number 1.
It's interesting because when we played the Braves in that first homestand of the season, they'd come out of the gate slowly. They lost their first 4 or 5 games, and after the way they collapsed in September last year, there was a lot of talk about Freddie Gonzalez was his job in jeopardy. A little premature, I guess.
A little bit.
Like, what did Yogi got fired? 6 games or 15 games into the season?
It was very early, very early.
And Gar got whacked in Detroit 6 games into the season.
Yeah, that's just not right. 1 ball, 1 strike. You mean to tell me that you are going into a season with a manager all through spring training, and suddenly after 6 games he's not the guy you wanted anymore?
You're going to have a change of heart.
You've got to be kidding.
This team needs a shakeup. We got to get this thing turned around. There's only 156 games left.
It's 2-1. But in the history of baseball, there have been many weird things that have happened, so it's hard to dismiss them as one of a kind.
Sometimes management just responds to the cries of the masses. They show up at the gates with torches and pitchforks. Well, throw them the manager.
Well, you're right. Bringing up a very, very cogent reason why many managers are fired. Attendance. Business reasons overrule other things sometimes. Lowry takes a strike. It's 2-2.
Jed is a photographer, and there's a website, JL, the number 4 photography. You can go to that website and check out his photo gallery. It's pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, he went to Africa, he and his wife, Mylesa. And great photographs on there.
Yeah, there's stuff from Toronto and
okay,
other trips they've made.
Off the plate, 3-2. And his wife now is working in Mexico City at the U.S. Embassy, so he'll probably hit the mountains of Mexico one of these days. Some great photos from there. Now full count. This is going to be really interesting because Lowry has a good knowledge of the strike zone, and Markham has a good ability to dance around and stay out of those power areas when he's pitching well.
As Brad Mills turned El Caballo loose to stay out of a potential double play. He's leaning.
He's going. High fly ball right field. Jed Lowry got the 3-2 pitch, and Hart is up, but that's a 2-run homer. Lowry with home run number 5 ripped the 3-2 pitch to make it 2-0 Astros. 15 runs batted in for Lowry.
Carlos, who had to wait out by second base to make sure that ball wasn't caught, just trots around a couple of paces ahead of Lowry. Astros on the board. Astros the last team in Major League Baseball to have a player with 5 home runs. Now they've joined that club. With this swing of the bat right here from Jed, the photographer. Lowry, take a picture of that one.
That is a beautiful swing.
Really uses his legs well. Generates a lot of power with that lower body.
Gorgeous uppercut swing. 3rd home run as a left-handed batter for Lowry. Now Bogusevic rams a line drive into center field. He was right on that pitch, and it's 3 straight hits for the Astros.
Now, nothing cheap either. Carlos line drive, single, home run, and then this bullet up the middle off the bat of Bogusevic.
Three very well hit balls. Lucroy goes out to talk with the pitcher, Markham, with Chris Johnson coming up. There's blood in the water. See if the Astros can feast on this opportunity. They have 6 hits. Chris Snyder on deck. That's strike 1 to CJ. He hit the 0-2 pitch for a single to left field his first time up. First place Cleveland beat Seattle 6-5-11 at Cleveland. Tribe will be coming here in Interleague play later on.
They weren't supposed to be good this year.
No, they were not. They've won 4 in a row, though. They have a modest first place record of 22-16, but Detroit is just languishing there. A game under 500.
Tigers were supposed to go wire to wire.
They sure were. Now Valverde's down for them, their closer. Throw goes over on Bogey, who's 5 for 8 in steals.
Catcher for the Brewers, Jonathan Lucroy, has thrown out 24% of would-be base stealers.
Made that high throw on Altuve in the first inning when Jose stole. The Astros are 6 for 6 in base stealing against Milwaukee. CJ is called for swinging the bat, and it's 0-2. The Astros are hanging right in Central Division play. If they win this game, they'll be at 500 in the NL Central, 7-7. Jay Happ has put them in a favorable position. Well, they sure were starved for runs until last night when they got 8 runs on 8 hits. Another toss over to first.
Well, indeed, they are starting to get hot with the bats. It comes at a good time with the Rangers coming to town. Unlikely you're going to beat that club 3-2.
That usually does not happen.
Usually got to score a touchdown to beat the Rangers.
Josh Hamilton show tomorrow night at 7:05. But there are plenty of other fine hitters in that lineup too. A little tap fielded by Ramirez, And he just gets CJ Bogusevic into second on out number 1.
Nice little half swing here from CJ. Busting it hard down the line, but they got him.
Mr. Triple Crown is headed for Minute Maid Park, ranking first in average, first in homers, first in RBIs, second in runs, first in on-base percentage.
Mr. Hobbs, Roy Hobbs, at the ballpark. He did not start today. Ron Washington trying to give him a day off, but he did pinch hit. Went 0 for 2, snapping a 16-game hitting streak.
It's a tough way to lose a 16-game streak.
Down to 399 now.
Chris Snyder struck out in the second inning. Here's strike 1 to Chris. He was getting some stolen base counseling from Craig Biggio around the batting cage tonight.
Saw that.
Did you?
Yeah, I was watching. I was up here and I was watching his.
Well,
doing like a little lead, like you're teaching him how to do a delayed steal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's a definite plan of attack for him to steal a base. Good stop there by Luke Roy. There is actually a targeted team and catcher for when this occurrence will take place for his first major league steal. But we are not at liberty to divulge any of the details of that planning. Sounds like there's going to be an attempt, though, somewhere down the line this season for Chris.
He'll probably get a couple doubles and never get a chance.
Now Markham's taking his time. He wants the signs again from Luke Roy.
In case you don't know what we're talking about, Chris does not yet have a stolen base in his major league career. He's third on the all-time list in terms of at-bats without a stolen base. Why would you want to break that record? Why would you not? He doesn't want to steal.
Actually, he does.
No, but I'm saying he shouldn't.
Well, he does. I don't know if he fully realizes the importance of never stealing a base.
Yeah, I don't think he grasped. 50 years from now, he could be a trivia question. If he gets a stolen base, it's gone.
Judge was asking him how many years he has in the big leagues. He said 8. It's still early. He's only 31. Turn towards second. Bogey dives back.
So you're thinking he'll get a little faster as he ages?
I'm thinking he'll get faster.
As he ages and catches more?
Yeah, and maybe by the time he's about 35 years old, he's plotting his time, and he's going to sit on it and wait for the opportunity. There's some serious disconnect here between what Markham wants to do and what Luke Roy is suggesting. They're not on the same page, and those pages are being turned.
Luke Roy ought to go Tony Pena, because Tony, when he gets frustrated, he just tells him, just throw it. He just wave his hands like, well, bring it on and I'll catch it. I don't care. I got you. You throw it, I'll catch it.
That was so much fun to watch him do that. It really was.
And then when he would get really frustrated with the pitcher, he'd walk out and just give the universe a sign for a fastball. Whatever it is, throw your fastball. And basically saying you're giving these hitters way too much credit.
A lot of thought and preparation that goes into this. Sometimes too much. That's hit to center field. It'll dunk down, and Aoki will pick it up. And here's the throw on Bogusevic. Not in time. And now Snyder heads for second, and he'll be in. 3-0 Astros on an RBI single by Snyder. Bogusevic scores. Snyder then takes second on that throw that gets away.
Markham having things unravel on him. 3 solid hits in the inning. Now this little flare into shallow center field. Great read by Bogusevic. So he's able to come around and score on that ball, as Aoki could not make a play on it. Then the throw gets away, and that allows Snyder to get into scoring position. Just a great read by Brian. That ball kicking away. Chris able to rehearse his stolen base technique. Dashing into second.
Yes, he was. Now it's Jay Happ batting. He grounded out first time up. Big cut by Jay. Strike 1. Still going to pass that along to you on the error when we get it. Presumably Aoki's throw to the plate gets him an error. 4 hits in the inning for the Astros. Looking out at the Brewers pen, we do not see anybody warming up. Markham worked 200 innings in the regular season last year. He lost a game in the division series and 2 more losses in the league championship series. So he really piled up the innings. It's 1-1. And that was the most innings he had pitched in a major league season. He had Tommy John surgery back in 08. Missed the 09 season. Traded to Milwaukee for Brett Laurie a year ago last December. Snyder at second.
He had the best road ERA in Major League Baseball last year. 2.21.
That's impressive. 1-2. He was 8-3 on the road. Career record 52-33 for Sean Markham. Minnesota down Detroit 4-3 at Detroit. Justin Morneau's back. He hit his 5th homer. Prince Fielder hit number 6. The error was given to Aoki on the throw, allowing Snyder to go to second base. So that's 2 errors for Milwaukee tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phillies lead 5-1 at Wrigley over the Cubs. They're batting in the top of the 5th inning. Roy Halladay on the mound. Where they lost 5 straight starts of his.
That's correct.
Now 3-2
Not like he's pitched poorly. They just haven't scored any runs.
True.
Phillies exploded late in the ball game last night to bury the Cubs. Turned a tight game into a blowout. Hector Luna hit a grand slam in the top of the 9th.
Renicky walking around. His pitcher's due up second in the 5th inning. 26 pitches this inning from Markham. Happ takes it. It's strike 3. That's out number 2. Patty?
Well, the Astros and Rangers will wrap up the Lone Stars series at Minute Maid Park this Sunday with a 105 matinee. As always, fans can enjoy Family Sundays presented by Minute Maid and Kroger, featuring a kids fun zone before the game and kids run the bases after the game. Tickets at Astros.com. Bill?
Going to be a big weekend here, and then the Cubs come in Monday through Wednesday nights. Tomorrow night it's Wandy Rodriguez and Neftali Feliz. 7:05 tomorrow night for the first of 6 games between the Astros and Rangers. Jordan Schaefer looped a double in the 3rd inning to left field. He's 1 for 2. Strike 1 to Schaefer. There's some new webisodes on the Astros website with players wearing microphones during games and some edited scenes from Bud Norris from a recent game. Line shot into center field. Here comes Snyder around 3rd. There's Aoki launching a throw up the line. He'll score. Throw into second. Safe there. Standing. And the Astros lead 4-0. And Schaefer made it in without sliding after his RBI, his 11th of the year. 5 hits in the inning.
That's a hanging changeup. Something about eye high. Schaefer got the bloop double last time. Hits this one on a line for a base hit, and then is able to go to second on that throw home. Probably needs to slide there.
Yeah.
That's when a second base coach would really come in handy, but they don't allow those.
He made it. Rick Kranitz went out. Astros were ripping away on Markham here in the 4th inning. But he's staying in, and here's Altuve batting. Altuve's 1 for 2. Brewers have been getting some nice work from their starting pitchers. They've had quality starts in 7 of their last 8 games. They had to go to the bullpen in the 5th inning last night. Little roller out to short as Torres makes the throw. Safe at first. Schaefer to third, and the hustling Altuve winds up with his second hit of the game.
That was a Hunter Pence hit right there. Pence used to do this a lot, roll over on balls, and it gives him a good break out of the box. All that momentum going forward and then hustling down the line as Torres did everything he could, but Altuve beat it.
45th hit.
Smallest of margins.
Yes, he did.
And another multi-hit game for Jose.
45 hits for him already this year.
Ooh.
Game number 38.
Brooks Conrad had a little more experience there at first base. He might have cheated on that one and stole a call.
6 hits in the inning, 9 for the game now, and the Astros bat around. J.D. Martinez is 0 for 2.
Mark Grace would have gotten it out on that play.
Yeah. He was very adept at doing that. Martinez looks at ball 1. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The Astros have broken a string of games, very well pitched games against them by opposing starting pitchers. They had 5 straight quality starts pitched against them on the road trip of 5 games, and got Wolf out of the game last night after 4 innings. He allowed 7 earned runs. Now they're doing a number on Markham. Markham was 13-7 last year. That's his best victory total in the big leagues. He also won 13 in 2010. Good stop there by Lucroy. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Mills club returning to some very good offensive ways from earlier this season after going through a stretch in those 9 games we talked about, losing 7 of the 9, scoring 3 runs or less for 9 in a row, the most games in a row with that kind of a lack of offense since '91 for this club. And 3 for 7 with men in scoring position. Bouncer in the hole is Torres. Gets it on to Weeks for the force play, and the Astros send 9 to the plate in a 4-run 4th inning. They lead it 4-0.
Texas Rangers come in town over the weekend, and Wandy Rodriguez will be the man for the job. He'll be on the mound making his 9th start of the season. Got that no decision in Pittsburgh the other day and pitched great. 8 innings of 1-run, 3-hit baseball. A 1.99 ERA. That's 6th best in the National League and the best among left-handers. Our coverage begins tomorrow night at 6:30. This has been your Mazda Game Break. Brownie, back to you.
Well, Kevin, we just researched how the Rangers have hit lefties this year. They've hit them very well, as you wouldn't be surprised to learn.
They hit everyone very well.
Isn't that the truth?
Lefties, righties, they don't discriminate.
There's strike one to his tourist from Jay Happ. His tourist tried to bunt his way on. Happ threw him out earlier. Fouls this one back. And in the on-deck circle is Sean Markham. Interesting. Nobody warming up in the bullpen right now. Rolled up the middle. Lowry lays out for it, but can't stop that from being a hit for his tourist into center field. Hit number 4 for the Brewers.
Well, Markham going to get this at bat, and I think he had that bad inning, but he has earned the trust of his manager. And a lot of managers, they're not going to make a decision on a pitcher based necessarily on what's happened, but what he expects to happen going forward. And it's only the 4th inning, and he still likes Markham's chances of posting a couple zeros more so than whoever he's using in long relief these days. And
that's a good point.
That's the way it is with a lot of managers.
Yeah. Markham pushes a bunt foul,
especially with the guys that the guys at the top of your rotation. Even if they're having an off night, you still feel like they have the best chance of keeping you in the game than that guy that you use as a long man.
Right. Well, he used Vinny Chalk for a couple of innings last night, and Dillard pitched an inning and 2/3. So Markham stays in. Chris Johnson creeping in at third, bunted in the air, and Chris Snyder will make the catch. 1 out.
Popped up right in front of home plate. And, it's very difficult. You don't have time to take your eye off that ball and look for the base runner, but it's the kind of ball where you're tempted to let it drop,
right,
and then get the force. And if the pitcher's not running down the line, you might get 2, and even if you don't, then you've got the pitcher running the bases.
That's true. That ball wasn't fair by much.
No, that's the thing, and it might have kicked back foul too, and then you don't get your out at all.
True. Aoki ripped a double to right in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. Gets out of that deep crouch. There's strike 1. And when he doubled, that meant runners were at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and Jay Happ then gave up an infield hit to Ricky Weeks on the ground ball to Chris Johnson, who looked at Markham off 3rd a little bit too long, and it was bases loaded, 1 out, but he fouled out Braun, and he got Ramirez on a ground out. So that could prove to be the turning point in this game if the Astros win it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Happ 27 and 27 in his major league career. Looping liner into right center. His tourist to second on the single. Oh, it's dropped now, and he'll turn on the Jets, and the throw into second is not in time. So that'll be an error on the outfield play as Aoki winds up getting into second base. First error on Bogasevic.
Yeah, he's a very good outfielder. You highlighted him at the start of the ball game, showing he had not made an error this year. Hurrying when he didn't really have to. The Stewart was not going to try to go to 3rd on that ball until it kicked away from him. A bold move by Aoki there too.
Sure was.
Accurate throw gets him maybe.
Yeah. Now it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, and the Brewers trailing 4-0. You have a shot at getting on the board with Ricky Weeks batting. Weeks is 1 for 2. Back strike 1, but Jay Happ gets strike 1. In the last couple of starts, that's been more elusive for Jay. He's been falling behind the hitters more. He's given up a couple of home runs in each of his last 2 starts. Tonight he's gotten ahead in the count 15 out of 20 times. That Dave Mills was asked about Happ during his pregame session with the media, and he talked about that very thing. Jay getting in front with strike one, and that's what Jay's been executing in this game.
A lot of pitching coaches talk about throwing strikes on 2 of the first 3 pitches you throw in a sequence. 15 out of 20 first pitch strikes, that's way above average. Major league leader, at least as of a couple of days ago, in throwing first pitch strikes was Cliff Lee at 72%.
Wow.
But most guys are, more around 62%.
Yeah. Weeks takes a strike, and it's 2-2 to Ricky. Well, the Brewers, with their power, can certainly overcome a sizable deficit. Braun on deck. Ramirez would be due up after Braun if the inning continued. At strike 3, big pitch for Happ. 2 outs.
Weeks just continues to struggle. 4 times he punched out in last night's game. Just cannot pull the trigger on that fastball.
Yeah, he took one right down the chute last night too.
Yeah, just like you see it all the time with hitters when they're struggling, chasing balls out of the zone and taking fastballs over the heart of the plate, just caught in between, thinking instead of reacting.
Yeah. Braun singled and stole a base in the first. He fouled out with the bases loaded for the second out in the 3rd inning. Happ throws strike 1 to him. Brewers have stranded 4 so far. The Astros have left 5. Braun hit .350 against lefties last year. One hopper. Chris Johnson. And again, Happ works around a trouble spot in the 5th inning with no runs, 2 hits, an error, and 2 men stranded. He continues to lead 4-0. Fifth inning coming. Starting pitchers for tomorrow night's game presented by Chevron. The battle for the silver boot comes to Minute Maid Park. First installment of 6 games. Matching Neftali Feliz with a 3-1 record, a 3.32 ERA. And Wandy Rodriguez, he's 3-3 with that fine ERA of 1.99. Sean Markham has thrown 76 pitches. He threw 34 of those in the 4th inning. And he gave up 4 runs. That's the Astros' first 4-run inning since May 5th against the Cardinals. They scored 8 in the game. Carlos Lee led it off with a single to right. He takes strike 1. Carlos, usually a reliable RBI man, but he was the rally starter with that single in the fourth. It's 1-1 in that key leading off an inning. And of course, there's so much emphasis placed on guys who hit cleanup, driving in runs. Can work the other way around. They could be leading off an inning and getting on base for someone else who then drives them in. 2 balls and a strike.
Strike zone may have tightened up just a little bit since the first couple of innings. But again, they're away on Carlos.
2-2. He let the bat fly on that one.
This home run in a good long while last night. He had designs on another one there with that swing.
Sure did.
Looking just hit it hard somewhere. I'll get the bat on the follow through.
Okay. Two balls, 2 strikes. Toronto leads the Yankees 4-1. Yankees are batting in the top of the 9th at Rogers Center. Fred Laurie is appealing his suspension for the Blue Jays. He got the 4-game suspension for throwing his batting helmet, hitting an umpire.
I think he dropped that, Browning.
Oh, he did? It's a wise move. I don't see him getting that reduced.
No, if anything, maybe more. These now Carlos is a distinct minority now because he whacked McCoy with his bat. Now he pinches the umpire with a foul tip. They're conspiring now. Let's get this guy out of here. Hey, call a fastball foot outside and I'll ring him up.
He's becoming
hurt. He's beating us up.
Yeah, the Terminator on this at bat. You know, it's interesting to witness the reaction of several players on the Brett Laurie episode of throwing that batting helmet, hitting the umpire. Some of the players I talked to were absolutely outraged that he did that.
How much time has he got in the game?
Right. Carlos takes a leadoff walk.
One shot up and in, but everything else away, mostly down, and Carlos doesn't walk a lot. Able to disregard that one and take the free pass.
Well, it's his 13th walk this year, and he has struck out 9 times. That's the kind of balance he'd like to take deep into the season. And he's still among the toughest to fan. Jed Lowry ripped a homer in the 4th inning, his 5th of the year. Infield plays him around to pull.
It's funny, that profile, low walk, low strikeout. Normally that fits a contact hitter at the top of the batting order, not a middle of the order run producer. You think about a guy like Bagwell who struck out a fair amount, but he also walked a ton.
Sure.
That's more that's why Jeff had such a high on base percentage. Carlos does not have a real high on base percentage.
Carlos started the night with a .305 batting average, .364 on base average. His slugging percentage .427 at the start of the night. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lowry. Lowry's really been a pleasant addition to this club with his defensive work at shortstop and all the offense he's provided. Especially his left-handed hitting. That seems to have improved quite a bit from his career figures. He came into this game hitting .281 from this side of the plate. Gets underneath this one, and it's in the air to right field for Corey Hart. Aoki calls him off it. 1 out. Bogusevic will be next. Cameron Lowe's warming up. Bogusevic's 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 4th. Chris Johnson on deck. Astros trying to make it a 2-0 start to this 8-game homestand after going 6-3 on the last homestand. They've scored more runs than Milwaukee in head-to-head play this season. That's a good sign. Bouncer slowly hit. Weeks will go to second for the forced play as Torres will not make a return throw to first. 2 outs. And Chris Johnson will bat. He's 1 for 2.
Bogey hit that rocket up the middle last time. This time the ground ball to second base. Been a bit of an issue for him this year, but replace Carlos with Bogasevic down there first base, guy with some speed, maybe look to steal a bag here.
Chris Johnson singled to left in the second inning, then he grounded to third. Strike to CJ. Giants won at home over St. Louis this afternoon 7-5, giving Matt Cain a 3-2 record with a 2.67 ERA. He beat Big Adam Wainwright. Wainwright now 2-5 with a 5.77. Santiago Casilla got his 9th save. Bruce Bochy has found his closer. There goes Bogey, and the throw from Lucroy sails a little bit. He's safe. Steal number 6 of the season for Bogasevic. Nice jump.
Throw right on the bag, probably gets him, but it was high and fading a little bit.
It's an 0-2 count now on CJ. And a strikeout ends it in the Astros' 5th with no runs, no hits, and a man left. After 5, it's 4-0 Houston.
And welcome back to Minute Maid Park, 4-0 Astros. Time to introduce you to our progressive fans of the game. And I'll tell you, we just had a wedding proposal out here at Minute Maid Park just a minute ago. And in about 10 years, this is what you get. The Ottness family, Aaron and Eric, they are progressive fans of the game. And let's start with one of the main reasons you're here, a fellow alum out there on the mound.
Yeah, it's great to see a Northwestern guy out here. There's not too many of them in the majors, so when they do get here, you got to go out and root him. And I'm really glad that he's out here playing for the Astros.
And both you guys are Northwestern alum?
Yeah, we're both Northwestern alums, both graduated in 99 and, been down here in Houston ever since, so we're glad to bring a little purple to Houston.
And you brought quite the little crew. I got to tell you guys, you can't probably see it up here, but they've got kids, popcorn. They've got a mess up here, taking in the ball game like a family should.
We got a few over there. We got some back here. I mean, they're all over the place here. But, this is Hannah. Hannah, say hi. Hi. We've got Meredith over there, little one, and then John over here who's, he's really focused on the game. He's mostly got my iPhone and just kind of playing with that. But anyway, we're having a good time out here enjoying a family night at the Astros game. So.
And that's how it should be. And we'll let them go back and watch Hap, because this little one here has had about enough of me being up here. But they are our progressive fans of the game. Thank you guys so much and enjoy the game.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Well, Jeff Luhnow has Northwestern ties, the Astros general manager. Did graduate work there.
He did. Went back and taught a class there when we were in Milwaukee.
That's right. Corey Hart. That's one foul. There's strike one.
Joe Girardi played at Northwestern. Mark Loretta.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the list here. I don't know, 15 maybe, 20 guys from Northwestern to play in the big leagues.
Read a few more.
Well, I don't know, but not too many. Chris Nichting, remember Nichting? Relief pitcher, Mike Koplov.
Oh yeah.
Reliever for the Diamondbacks. I think Jay's the only active. Northwestern guy, yeah.
Jeff Luhnow's got that chat coming up, and he's very computer savvy, of course, with all of his engineering and mathematical backgrounds. And he enjoys chatting with the fans online. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a live chat at Astros.com Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Hey, you can follow him on Twitter too. He tweets, and also there's a Twitter account, Astros Analytics.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hart. And he cranks one up to center field. That's going to be a flyer over Schaefer and off the bullpen wall. It rolls right to Schaefer, and that's a double for Hart, number 11 of the year. Almost hit it out.
That ball was mashed.
Sure was.
He crushed that ball. He came into this game with big numbers against Jay Happ. He's long and strong, and when he gets extended, it tends to go a long ways.
You could see that extension on that swing.
Number 1 hit it out there to number 1.
Well, for a right-handed batter to hit it in the bullpen, that's a shot, and he almost did that. 11 doubles for Hart. Jonathan Lucroy comes up. Lucroy has struck out looking and hit a fly ball to left. 6 hits for the Brewers. The Astros have 9. That's ball 1 with Conrad on deck. Matt Holliday hit his 8th home run for the Redbirds in their loss today, and Yadier Molina added number 5. Shutout ball so far for Jay. Line drive to right field is going to challenge that as Hart comes around third, gets a stop sign from Ed Cedar. Bogusevic's throw is close to the plate. It was over Carlos Lee, but Chris Snyder scrambled for it, and it's first and third, 1 out.
Down 4 runs. Cedar, the third base coach, opts to play it safely. McCroy continues his good work in the batter's box. Solid line drive single. The disadvantage here from the Brewers' point of view is, 1, you don't score the run. 2, the throw comes all the way through. That would allow Lucroy to move into scoring position at second base as well. But Cedar just didn't feel like it was worth the risk, so he threw up the stop sign. He's going to count on the bottom of the order to get some good work done here.
Doug Brocale out to talk it over. Happ's thrown 91 pitches, 64 have been strikes. It's a higher percentage of strikes than Jay normally throws. The Brewers' last 3 wins have found them scoring 8 runs in each of those games, and then in the other games they've scored 1, 1, 2, 1, and 3 in the recent games. So it's not the even type of production Ron Renicky would hope for. Brooks Conrad's 0 for 2. They're 6th in the league in runs scored. Overall, that looks pretty good, but it's the way they're scoring the runs. Popped up. Chris Snyder behind the plate, off with a mask. Another big pitch for Jay Happ. 2 outs.
He's not had a lot of issues to deal with in this game, but when he has, he's been able to come up with big pitches. The pop-up of Braun back in the third, the biggest one, he got him to pop up in foul territory with the bases loaded, but now Meek little pop-up from Conrad, and he's got 2 outs.
And on that Braun pop-up, Carlos Lee ranged up the right field line to catch it, and Sean Markham, the runner at third, held on the play. Now it's Torres. He's 1 for 2. And then in this inning, Hart not being sent home, so the Brewers have had a couple of guys stranded there at third base. 1-0 to his Torres with a pitcher spot due up next, and Edwin Masonette in the on-deck circle. Cameron Lowe warming up. It's 2-0, but you kind of wonder about the toll that working out of jams is taking on J. Happ, and Wesley Wright and Wilton Lopez are warming up to address that question. Jay's allowed 7 hits, 6 men left so far for Milwaukee, so he's had stressful innings. 2 balls and a strike. And on a night like this, 6 innings might be all he will be asked to provide Brad Mills. He's due up second in the bottom half.
Yeah, because he's closing in on 100 pitches. You see Fox Tracks there, brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan.com.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The Brewers are 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position tonight. Atlanta shut out Miami 7-0 in Atlanta. Brandon Beachy is 5-1 with a 1.33 earned run average. He beat Ricky Nolasco. Outdoor shortstop. Lowry to his left, in between hops. The shovel goes over to Altuve. It's no runs, 2 hits, and once again J. Happ stiffens with men in scoring position to maintain a 4-0 Astros lead.
Nothing Astros, and be sure to follow the Astros with the MLB.com @bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @bat to 31826 or visit Astros for details. We've got some changes lurking out there, Bill.
Sure do, Patty. We have Travis Ishikawa playing first base. He's batting 9th. Brooks Conrad coming out of the game after going 0 for 3. And the new pitcher, Cameron Lowe, the former Texas Ranger, goes into the 7th spot in the order. Lowe is 2-1. His ERA is 2.30.
Big guy, but not a real hard thrower. Velocity a little bit below major league average. It's at 89 miles an hour. Has a good curveball and a changeup.
Strike to Chris Snyder, who's 1 for 2. Sean Markham in 5 innings allowed 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, walking 1, fanning 5.
Fittingly, Lowe keeps the ball down, gets a lot of ground ball outs.
That's a rip. Left field corner. That one Not so much down that time, and Chris Snyder will make the turn and go to second. Ryan Braun with a throw to Weeks, and the tag not in time. Hustling double for Snyder, his second double and his second straight hit of this game. He's right on that one.
Well, he hit it so hard it didn't take long for it to get off the wall out there in the corner. Well played by Braun, and Chris not the speediest guy, and Braun able to make it close, but give Snyder credit for busting it hard down the line. Good aggressive base running, and he beats that throw just barely. You know, if it's 3rd and 1, that's the guy you want to hand the ball to. You're not asking him to break open big games. Just boom, give me that 1 yard.
Got it. Now it's Marwin Gonzalez pinch hitting for Jay Happ. He is 3 for 9, including a pinch homer a few days ago. First major league home run. Corner infielder's pinching in, and he's dropping down a bunt, but it's foul, strike 1.
Not a bad idea there. Bunt for a base hit, and even if they make a play on you, you advance Snyder. Jay Happ, good work tonight. 6 scoreless. He could take that up to the clubhouse after this half inning. Feel very good about his effort after a couple of rocky ones.
Happ allowed 7 hits and no runs in his 6 innings. He had 1 walk, ironically the pitcher, and struck out 4.
Could have used Jay here just in a straight sacrifice situation and saved a pinch hitter. That would have been another way to play it here for Brad Mills.
0-2. 97 pitches for Happ, 68 for strikes.
It's not easy though to sacrifice a guy like Snyder, because he's not speedy. Takes a good bunt.
Gonzalez was looking at Dave Clark for signs. Hit his first home run in Philadelphia Monday night as a pinch hitter. He didn't get the baseball either. Philly fans wouldn't give it up for him. And there's a strikeout for Lowe, 1 out.
And a good sinker, starts at the knees, just dive bombs down around the ankles.
Jordan Schaefer with a looping double in the 3rd inning, was stranded at 3rd after that, and then he drove in a run with a single in the 4th. Astros scoring 4 runs in the 4th on 6 hits. Jose Altuve's on deck. Fouled away, strike 1 on Schaefer. Washington's batting in the bottom of the 9th, trailing Pittsburgh 5-3.
Ishikawa in the double switch bats 9th. The 9-hole spot leads off the next inning for the Brewers, so it's lefty-lefty to start the next inning. Wesley Wright is getting ready in the pen, so he'll be next.
Big cut there by Schaefer. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
Good tight rotation on this curveball. A Yellowhammer, Snapdragon, Uncle Charlie.
Lowe's 30. Drafted by Texas in 02 in the 20th round from Simi Valley, California. He went to Cal State Northridge. Joined the Brewers in 2010. Hit him
on the toe.
Yeah. Hit by the pitch on the 0-2. Schaefer will go to first base. First and second, 1 out for Altuve now.
Talk a lot about the back foot breaking ball. Literally. That's smarts. The front foot. On top of that front foot. That'll kill a toenail. That thing might not grow back for a decade.
Schaefer's going to take a little time. Making sure his foot is in his shoe right before he gets to first base.
Surprised the modern clubhouse doesn't have a pedicurist.
Well,
seems like that's something baseball needs.
About the only thing they don't have. Runners at first and second. Altuve singled to center field in the first inning and then got an infield hit to short in the fourth. Ball one to Jose. These two teams don't meet again until July. Breaking pitch is in for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Likes to throw that curveball, and this one just slides off the outside edge, but he gets the call from Brian Knight. Good pitch.
It's 2 balls, 1 strike for Cameron Lowe, listed at 6'8".
It's not quite the size differential we had in the Met series when Big John Roush at 6'11" was facing Altuve. That was a record as far as we could tell.
Yeah, we looked it up. Not counting Eddie Goodell, of course. J.D. Martinez is on deck.
Eddie Goodell, the midget that the White Sox used as a pinch hitter. Bill Veeck was owning the club back then. Was owning the club?
He was owning the club.
He was owning the club.
Yeah.
And he was a fine owner of the club when he was owning it.
Tried all kinds of things.
Who owns the Chiefs? owns.
2-2.
I'm sorry, English teachers.
We fracture the King's English just about on a nightly basis. They seem to be understanding. We're not hearing much from them. They're about to be on vacation, though. They can't police the entire world, JD.
They ought to record me and bring it in and play it for their kids and say, don't ever say this.
You're no Dizzy Dean, JD.
No.
Thankfully. That was a whole different world when he was broadcasting, singing the Wabash Cannonball.
I wish I could do that. He slid into third.
Yeah. It's a great headline when he got hit in the head with that line drive. That's in for strike 3, and Altuve is caught looking for the second out. X-rays of Dean's head revealed nothing.
I'm going to guess that about 70% of Jose's strikeouts have been looking this year. I talked earlier about his great eye-hand coordination. When he puts his mind to put the bat on the ball, he usually gets it done. He almost never swings and misses in the strike zone. Want me to be patient? I'm trying to take pitches. I'm getting rung up.
Yeah. He is seeing a lot of off-speed stuff. J.D. Martinez is 0 for 3. Phillies lead 5-2 after 7 at Wrigley. Starlin Castro hit his second home run. Lowe's got that curveball working tonight. There's strike 1. Dodgers have scored a run. They're batting in the top of the first at San Diego against Edinson Volquez. Fouled, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Eddie Goodell stood 3 feet 7 inches tall. There's used to pinch hit. The St. Louis Browns.
Yeah.
1951.
And when Bill Veeck owned the club, I don't know if it was that year or some other year, they used to have the fans participate in managerial decisions during games. He pulled out the promotions, ground ball, and Is Torres to his right, throws to second to Weeks for the force play on Schaefer. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded after 6. 4-0 Houston.
Hyundai owners are talking about their cars in the booth. And by AT&T, rethink possible. Silver Boot Series starts tomorrow. The Rangers are driving it down and stopping off at places along the route. John Blake is bringing it in. Also, we want to say John Mark is watching. He's our distant viewer of the day. He is in Singapore.
Wow.
Way to go, John. Now back to Bill and JD.
So is John hitting all the truck stops, or exactly where is he? He's showing off this boot on the way down. Greg?
Well, he's been in Waco, and he's been at some place called. Let's see if I can
Started at a barbecue joint there.
Yeah,
in
barbecue.
Dallas,
yeah, that was a big one, big
Okay.
barbecue joint. And he's checking out, checking in.
He was going to stop in Huntsville at the big Sam Houston statue.
I don't know what his route is, but
Wesley Wright back on the mound after finishing last night's game with a 2.79 ERA. Ishikawa first up.
Parading the boot around, coming down I-45 like it's a Stanley Cup, except nobody's showing up. So what?
2 for 7 against lefties. Wesley came in to get the final 2 outs last night. And he gave up a 2-run triple, a couple of inherited runners scoring as Jonathan Lucroy hit that triple to right center field. Ishikawa looks at that one, and the count goes to 2 balls a strike. Travis was the starter in last night's game at first base. And he was 0 for 2 with a walk. Former San Francisco Giant, very good glove man. That rolls to Chris Johnson. Strong throw. Carlos kept his foot on the bag. 1 out.
CJ's had a busy night.
Time for a look at our Brown Hand Center. Great hands of the game will go the other way across the diamond to Carlos Lee. And base is loaded, 1 out. Ryan Braun puts it in the air. Carlos over by the stands. Runner at third. Sean Markham, the pitcher, back to third base as he throws on 1 hop to Chris Snyder. One of the big outs for Jay Happ. Now Aoki, he's 2 for 3. And that's strike 1.
He's kind of fun to watch hit. He's so unorthodox. Like Ichiro, he's out there on that front foot, but sometimes he's got both feet moving. We've seen him swing with both feet in the air already this year.
Vinny Chalk's warming up for Milwaukee. No balls, 2 strikes. Chalk came in last night for 2 hitless innings. He threw 27 pitches. Check swing there by Aoki. Takes the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brewers have been shut out 3 times this season. Well, a little foot movement going on there. It's 2-2 for Wesley.
You know, do you ever watch the college softball, the women?
Yeah.
That's how they hit.
Yeah, that's true.
They get on that front foot, trying to slap the ball and run like crazy.
Exactly. Get a head start toward first base as they're making contact. The appeal goes to third. Check swing call there by Wally Bell. And it's 3-2. Now, if let's take a look at that first. If John Blake winds up at the Riverwalk, Greg will know it's a scam that he's driving this trophy down to Houston from Dallas.
He was in the Collins Street Bakery in Waco. I know that. Then he went to this
yeah.
barbecue place. They all have to do with food.
Quite a tour across Texas. Well, that boot got broken on one of the driving trips from one city to another several years ago.
It was a glass boot back then, right?
Yeah.
Now
It's not glass anymore.
Was it pewter? Or?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it may be pewter. But that's an interesting route. And for some reason, they never trust the airlines to deliver that boot. It's always driven from one city to the next, right?
Well, maybe they're cheap.
Hit ball pitch. And Aoki will be down at first base with 1 out.
Fastball that gets away from Wesley. And Aoki tries to take evasive action but cannot. That is going to make a move. Lopez been flying out of that bullpen.
All right. Faced 2 left-handed batters now. It's Lopez coming in. He'll get there quickly. He always makes the dash in for the pen. Weeks will be next, then Braun. So Lopez comes in to try to protect this 4-0 lead right after this. Wilton Lopez takes over with a runner at first, 1 out. Ricky Weeks the batter. Weeks is 1 for 2. And there's strike 1 for Wilton. Hard-working reliever. He has not walked anybody. He's 3-0 with a 1.66 ERA, 16 strikeouts, no walks in 21 2/3 innings.
Good sinker, slider, and a changeup for Wilton. Got the jump on Weeks with that good sinker down and in.
Ripped on a line, caught by CJ. 2 outs.
Best swing we've seen from Weeks in this 2-game series. Gonna hang with him.
That was a good swing.
He jerked the ball foul home run distance last night. Now this line drive right at the third sacker. He was out before he got out of the box.
2 down, and it's Ryan Braun who's 1 for 3. Braun singled in the first inning off J. Happ. Wilton in his last 9 appearances has an ERA of 0. 8 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no walks, 11 strikeouts. He's thrown more innings than any other pitcher in the majors without a walk. Strike one.
He's on quite a roll.
He's faced 77 batters without walking anybody. That's the most faced to start a season without a walk since John Smoltz, as far as relievers are concerned, in 2004. Smoltz faced 92 batters that year before he walked anybody.
Smoltz was fairly sure he was going to go through the year without walking a man.
Lowry tossing to Altuve for the force play. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. 4-0 Houston.
On Fox will be in Charlotte as defending champion Kevin Harvick and points leader Greg Biffle lead the world's best drivers in a chase for the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing with the Coca-Cola 600 live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway Sunday, May 27th in prime time at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Fans enjoying their 7th inning stretch. And the Astros have built a 4-0 lead. Vinny Chalk will be pitcher number 3 for Ron Renicky tonight after Cameron Lowe went 1 inning, allowing 1 hit, no runs with no walks, 2 strikeouts, and a hit batter.
Chalk started the year in the minor leagues. He's made 5 appearances for the Brewers, 1-0 with a high ERA, but he was really good last night. Came in for 2 innings, went 6 up, 6 down, including striking out the side in his first inning of work.
Carlos Lee leads it off. He led off the 4th with a single. He led off the 5th with a walk. He's 1 for 2. There's ball 1. The attendance tonight is 15,173. That's the actual turnstile count at Minute Maid Park. Look for big crowds over the weekend. Starting tomorrow night at 7:05, the opener of the Astros Rangers series, battle for the Silver Boot. Wandy Rodriguez and Neftali Feliz tomorrow night. In the air to center field. Okay. 1 down. Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jed Lowry showing big improvement as a left-handed batter this season. Made some adjustments in spring training, and there is a 2-run homer. 5th home run of the year for Lowry, the club leader. changed the position of his head during his swing this spring. Worked long and hard. Get that head more upright, as you see now. Here's strike one for Vinny Chalk. He had been sort of leaning that head, tilting it to the side. And it's not that somebody can't hit that way. Pete Rose did it, but this way he has better vision from the back eye, the left eye, as his head is turned more toward the pitcher, more upright. And getting those eyes on the same level. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brewers bullpen has a high ERA of 4.88. Only 2 teams are higher in the National League. 1-2. This could be the Astros' second series sweep of the year.
Cameron Lowe did a lot of good work with his curveball. Chuck showed a good breaking pitch last night. I don't think he can count as a sweep if it's only 2 games.
No, it really is something that probably shouldn't be put in that category. How about if there's a makeup game for a rain out later on in the season and it's a 1-game series? Is that a 1-game sweep?
Depends on how bad you want it.
Yeah.
How bad you want to be able to say, yeah, we swept them.
Yeah, 10 years later. Remember that sweep we had in that 1-game series? Well, that was really something, wasn't it?
Swept them.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Are there any brooms out tonight? We haven't seen it.
That's what I mean. The fans are
not into it.
Fans would feel sheepish bringing their brooms for a potential 2-game sweep. They'd have to bring just a real little broom, a whisk broom.
No brooms there. Lowry works a walk. These folks here tonight, though, have seen some good things happening with the 4-run 4th inning. Kind of odd that a major league game would be in the bottom of the 7th and all the runs scored in 1/2 of one of those innings.
Big Bang Theory, right?
You bet. Brian Bogasevic singled in the 4th inning, and he is 1 for 3. Well, Larry Durker stopped by earlier. He was a big advocate, of course, of the Big Bang Theory, as are many managers. Play for the big inning. He did that. He had a lot of firepower on his clubs.
Yeah, because baseball history bears it out that the winning team will score more runs in 1 inning than the other team scores in the entire game, a high percentage of the time.
Tonight could be another case in point. Now another 4-run inning here would certainly be welcome by the Astros, because the Brewers can be an explosive bunch, and they're down by 4. Chris Johnson's on deck. Which is ball 2, and it's 2-0 to Brian Bogasevic. Astros have been a vastly different team at home than on the road. Their ERA at home is 2.95.
All right, Bogey, hit one in the second deck here. Fastball, he's going to try to get it down and away. He'll make a mistake for you. Ooh, he didn't. Real good pitch.
2 balls and a strike.
A 2-seam runner. Right there, number 3. Talking so much about having the ability to throw something other than a fastball and a fastball count, which you do need to have that ability. But plan B, you know, if you can paint with a little movement on the corner, that works too.
Lowry's going.
Mid-run play.
But just the way Lowry was kind of rocking back and forth, He's right to his left foot. It looked like he might be going on that one. He was making sure he was distributing his weight properly for a takeoff.
See, looking in the whole way. A lot of times when a base runner is trying to steal a base, he'll peek into Lowry that time the whole way. He was looking in, and Bogusevic went after a pitch out of the zone, so that was clearly a hit and run play.
Inside, that almost got him on the left leg, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Astros have out hit the Brewers 10-7. Milwaukee with 2 errors. Houston's made 1. It's been a struggle to get runners home tonight for both clubs. The Brewers have stranded 9. The Astros have left 8. They're going. And it's hit toward the left field corner. Braun giving chase, and then on the warning track he slides, and Ryan Braun makes a tremendous catch. Throws back to the infield, and Lowry gets back. That's quite a play in the left field corner by Braun, sliding for out number 2.
Yeah, an outstanding play by the MVP. And we talked about him earlier, the fact that he can do it all. Steal a bag for you, hit for average, hit for power, and has become a good outfielder. And he made a heck of a play here. First, I thought maybe he got enough to get it out of here, but then I thought, well, for sure it's going to be extra bases in the corner, and Braun did a beautiful play.
Well, that's a great use of the slide technique. And then he popped up, got it back to the infield. Chris Johnson's 1 for 3. It's a difficult play with the wall closing in, and the need to pop up and get that ball back in. Try to get a double play if possible. And he coordinated his efforts quite well on that one. The ball slicing away from him a little bit too as he went into that slide.
There comes a point where you have to leave your feet, because if you're going full blast into that corner and reach to try to make a catch, you're going to go headlong into the wall, and that's not a good thing.
Not if you like your nose in place. Looking at his right hand right now.
Tore that up pretty good.
On the warning track maybe, as he was sliding. And the throw goes over to first on Lowry. No balls, 2 strikes. This might be a time that Jed would go. Figuring there's not a whole lot to lose with 2 outs in the inning and 2 strikes on the hitter. Sometimes the pitcher would try to bounce one. It's a shot into right field. Lowry goes first to third. Johnson will hold at first on an opposite field single. CJ 2 for 4.
Interesting pitch selection here. They got CJ to chase a 2-strike breaking ball last time to punch him out. This time LaCroix calls for the fastball. Chunk throws it over the outside part of the plate, and a good swing of the bat by CJ. Ishikawa can really pick it, but he couldn't come up with that one, and the Astros go first and third.
Chris Snyder has had good swings tonight. RBI single in the 4th, double in the 6th. 2 for 3. Travis Buck is in the on deck circle. Pitcher spot due up next for Houston. Snyder's hitting .333 with runners in scoring position this year. Hammers this one to left field, but Ryan Braun goes back, and he has room for the catch. No runs a hit. 2 men stranded after 7. It's Houston 4, Milwaukee nothing. this reverse replay, and we take a look back at work of J Happ tonight.
Probably his best start of the year, 6 shutout innings for J Happ. Really got off to a good start, and that was the key we talked about in the pregame. He's had rough go of it in the early innings so far this year, but not tonight. Very sharp with his fastball command, had that good curveball and changeup early on, and really settled into a nice rhythm. Good, solid effort. Punched out the side in the second. Thought it might turn into a big strikeout game for him. It did not. He ended up with 4, but that doesn't really matter as long as you're putting zeros on the board.
Wilton Lopez got 2 outs in the 7th inning. 4-0 Astros. Aramis Ramirez leads it off here in the 8th. He's 0 for 3. Right for Wilton. The Astros are 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Brewers are 2 for 9. Ton of men left on base tonight. 9 Milwaukee, 10 Houston.
That's the first pitch he's thrown out of the strike zone so far for Lopez. Lowest bullpen ERA in the National League. Astros right there at number 4 behind the Reds, Pirates, and Pods. So you would think with Lopez not walking anybody, being so aggressive, that he'd give up a fair number of hits, but that hasn't been the case. The batting average against is very low as well.
2 balls and a strike.
So not only is he throwing strikes, but he's throwing quality strikes in good spots. Of course, he got that great movement.
Batting average against him 203.
He's gone 3 balls here. The streak is in jeopardy.
Well, he has a 4-run lead.
No way Ramirez is not swinging at this pitch.
He'll be swinging.
Oh my goodness.
That wasn't close. Ball 4. That breaks the string. 78 hitters until he issued his first walk of the season. Ramirez is on, and it's Corey Hart. Hart doubled to right center in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Jordan Schaefer is playing him about 4 or 5 steps toward left center field, so that gives him a huge right center field slot, and that's where he hit it last time. He almost hit it into the bullpen. Foul tip, strike.
After Hart, it's LaCroix, then the pitcher's spot. Fernando Abad is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Ron Renicky on his bench has 3 left-handed bats and a right-handed bat. Abad getting ready for perhaps one of those pinch hitters.
Hart strikes out. That's out number 1.
Looked like Hart was looking in there. Watch the front side open up early. He's cheating on that inside fastball. Still couldn't get it.
The view from the left field corner.
Not a bad view at all.
A lot of people love sitting in those Crawford boxes. Chance to get a home run.
Right on top of the field of play.
You bet. Jonathan Lucroy singled to right in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. There's ball 1. St. Louis Cardinals must be having an interesting road trip, Katie.
Why is that?
Look at this photo of Lance Berkman wearing a pink tuxedo.
Wow.
Must be a theme trip of some kind. Foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike. And David Freese is wearing a red tuxedo with a cat in the hat hat. I'm going to have one of those theme trips one of these years.
They seem to be all the rage, Browning.
Yeah, they are. Started by Joe Madden, right?
Yeah.
He pioneered him. Tapped the shortstop. Lowry comes in. There's the toss high to Altuve. Then no double play. Out number 2 went from 6 to 4 at second. Lucroy reaching, and now we get the pinch hitter. Looks like Green. Taylor Green's the pinch hitter for Vinny Chalk.
Not a lot of pace on this ground ball, but could have been a double play. The flip there is a little high. Now Altuve has to peel back to avoid contact before making the turn. As we noted earlier, Lucroy for catcher runs quite well.
Boy, we saw that last night on that triple. Green is 5 for 19 for a .263 average. He has 2 runs batted in. He's been in the first base mix after the injury to Matt Gamble, along with Ishikawa and Conrad, who started there tonight. There's strike 1 to Green. Taylor, 25 years old. He was drafted in the 25th round by Milwaukee in '05 from British Columbia, Canada. Had a really good year at AAA Nashville last year. 336, 22 homers, 88 driven in. Plays third base as well as second. Fly ball, and that sends J.D. Martinez spinning toward the corner. It's toward the line, and foul ball. He had that same kind of difficult chance Ryan Braun had. No balls, 2 strikes.
I wasn't high enough to hit anything, but the way JD reacted, it's almost like that thing changed directions on him.
Really was. He overran it, didn't he?
He did. He's at that point, he's like, please be foul. Please be foul.
Right. Exactly. And his wish was granted.
No, please get him out. Please get him out. Come on, Wilton, pick me up.
Taylor Green had one at bat last night, and he struck out. It's 1-2.
This is the anniversary of the first ever televised baseball game. Princeton at Columbia, 1939.
Wow. 39?
W2 XBS in New York City had to call.
Wilton Lopez gets the comebacker. And it's a 1-3 play to end the top of the 8th inning with no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. 4-0 Houston.
Nothing Astros, and this week America's pastime moves to primetime for Baseball Night in America as we bring you 8 straight weeks of baseball's best, and it starts with an interleague matchup between regional rivals as the Rangers take on the Astros. Baseball Night in America presented by Chevrolet begins Saturday at 6 p.m. Central only on Fox. More changes, Bill.
We sure do, Patty. Jose Veras is on the mound. He's 2-1 with a rough start with that ERA of 6.75. He had a 1-2-3 inning 3 days ago, and that was his first clean inning in 3 weeks.
Yeah, control is an issue for him. Veras has walked 10 men in 16 innings. League hitting .294 against him. Hard thrower with a good breaking ball and a split finger pitch.
Well, the Astros handed him a couple of tough outings in Milwaukee in that 3-game series. In the first one, Milwaukee won the game 6-5. He came in with a 6-2 lead in the 7th inning, gave up 4 hits and 3 runs in 1 inning. And then he took the loss 2 days later on April 25th, giving up a run in 1 inning. Came in with the score tied that time, 4-4. So it has been not the best of starts, certainly for him. Travis Buck was 6 pinch hits. He is the leadoff man for the Astros in the bottom of the 8th inning, pinch hitting for Wilson Lopez. Wesley Wright worked 1/3 of an inning, allowing no hits, no runs. Had a hit batter. Wilson went 1 2/3 innings, allowing no hits, no runs, walking 1 and fanning 1. And Buck has been just terrific pinch hitting. Gets a shot here. Travis looks at ball 1. 6 for 9 as a pinch hitter with 1 RBI. Overall, .255, no homers. He's driven in 5 in 55 at bats. Looks at that one for a strike, and it's a 1-1 count. Veras is 31. He was with the Pirates last year. Made 79 appearances, got 27 holds along the way.
It's a good hold ratio.
Yeah, it is. 2-1. Veras was signed as a free agent by the Pirates a year ago, but then Milwaukee got him in a trade for Casey McGee after last season. Ishikawa finds a handle, throws to Veras, and recovers to get out number 1. Ball got away from him, but he maintained his composure.
Good swing of the bat, though, for Travis Buck. Barnett will make note of that. Another good job by Buck in the pitch hitting role.
Yes. Did it sharply. That's 1 out for Veras. Jordan Schaefer has a pair of hits, and he's been hit by a pitch. Jordan has an RBI tonight. Cubs are batting in the bottom of the 9th, trailing the Phillies 8-3. Strike 1 to Schaefer.
Boy, Halladay in position to pick up that win. Veras loves to throw that breaking ball.
Boy, he does. That's slap foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
On this date in 1915, George Zip Zabel. Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Comes out of the Cubs bullpen with 2 outs in the first inning. And ended up with a 4-3 19-inning win over Brooklyn in the longest relief job ever. You didn't complain about his role.
No.
That's some serious relief.
Wow. Backhanded is Torres. He sets up and fires, and there's the stretch. Ishikawa, they get him. That's a spectacular play.
At times tonight the Brewers have been a little sloppy. At other times outstanding. Braun with the play in the left field corner. Now is Torres, the sure-handed shortstop, making a play on Schaefer.
That's a good stretch.
He's like Gumby down there.
As Torres formed his end extremely well. Boy, that's a small glove he has. 2 outs, and it's Altuve batting. He is 2 for 4.
Better to catch it with, my dear.
Strike 1. Well, small hands.
Well, those little infielders, middle infielders, they don't want the ball to get lost in there. They have to make the exchange.
That is tiny.
Guys, their hands are so quick they just use the glove as like a paddle to deflect the ball into their throwing hand. Altuve got caught looking earlier, so now he's going to be a little more aggressive.
That's very aggressive.
So I said earlier, he doesn't swing and miss. You got to get way out of the zone for him to miss it.
Little tap is Torres, barehanding, throws, safe at first. 3 hits tonight for Altuve, 2 of them infield hits.
He's turning the ground ball to short into a weapon. Beats it into the ground in front of home plate. Astros off quickly to charge it, barehanded, did everything right, but didn't get his man.
Quite a night for Altuve. Now it's JD Martinez. He's 0 for 4, 12 hits for the Astros. And JD is the only member of the starting lineup other than the pitcher not to have hit the hit column. Michael Bourne came into tonight as the leader in hits in the National League with 55. Altuve now has 46. Bourne's been on a tear for weeks now. There's strike one. Fernando Abad's warming up for Houston. Dodgers lead 3-0 at San Diego after 2. Trying to get by without Matt Kemp, who's on the 15-day disabled list. Aaron Harang is pitching for LA tonight. Tony Gwynn Jr. is playing center. Here's Torres. Oh, bad hop. He goes down. Watch out. It's a bad hop single. And I agree with that call. You can't expect the shortstop to hang in there on a play in which his facial features are being threatened.
And the thing about it, he did hang in there. He was ready to make the play, and he jumped right up over his coconut.
Boy, that's scary.
Shades of Tony Kubek.
Yeah.
Wow. Must have hit a pebble or something.
Yep. JD Martinez was seen planting that pebble during infield practice tonight.
Hits have been hard to come by for JD. Maybe take a little solace in that. Say, hey, my fortunes are turning. I hit a routine ground ball to short. I got a knock out of it.
Yeah. Carlos Lee is 1 for 3 with a walk. There's strike one.
Eventful inning here for Astros. 3 balls in a row.
Very much
in
so.
His direction.
Does not seem like a 4-0 game, does it?
No. Feels like an 8-0 game.
13 hits for the Astros, 10 left on base. The Brewers have left on 10. It's 1-1. Brewers have Torres, Ishikawa, and Aoki due up in the 9th inning. Carlos 4 for 10 against Veras. Shortstop, but Torres is back to make the grab. And it's no runs, 2 hits. More men left on base. And we go to the 9th inning. 4-0 Houston.
brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Action goes to the ninth, the new arm and more. And here's Bill Brown and Jim Deshane.
Travis Buck is the left fielder, Greg. He takes over there for J.D. Martinez after pinch hitting for the pitcher Lopez. And J.D. comes out of the game going 1-4-5 tonight. It's Fernando Abad going into his number 3 spot in the lineup. Abad in 10 games has an ERA of 5.40.
Just 6 2/3 innings of work for Fernando. Struck out 4, walked 1. So Fernando with a chance now to establish himself as the second left-hander in the Astros bullpen. A lot of speculation that he may be the guy sent out when Jordan Lyles was activated to make the start the other day, but Fernando survived that.
Cesar Izturis, the switch hitter, batting right this time. Takes a look at that first pitch. It's ball 1 from Abad. Izturis singled in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. He had a very active bottom of the 8th. Now the Brewers would love to see him be active in the 9th. They've been out hit 13-7. The Astros have stranded 12 to the Brewers 10. Ground ball, Chris Johnson. Out number 1 for Abad. Well, you're right in saying that he can establish himself as the second lefty. It's something Brad Mills really wants. And it was speculated that it would be Abad who would be going to AAA Oklahoma City and not David Carpenter. So that was something of a surprise to some. But Abad gets a chance to stay and now in this 4-0 game get 3 pretty important outs and save the closer for tomorrow night.
Closer who is tossing in the bullpen just in case.
Edwin Masonette, former Astros, 3 for 9, including a grand slam. Pinch hitting here and taking ball 1. He hit his first career grand slam on Saturday against the Cubs. Masonette was a pinch hitter last night, hit a fly ball to center field, takes a strike there. That makes it 1-1 to Masonette. Edwin, one of those multiple position guys. And the unfortunate injury to Alex Gonzalez gives Masonette a chance to fill in as a handyman on this club. Edwin's now 30 years old. He takes that one and it's a 2-2 count. Edwin came up with the Astros in 08. Born in Puerto Rico and went to Delta State in Mississippi. The Astros drafted him in 03. Now Abad takes the count full. He's working very quickly tonight.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. I think this is I don't know if it's something Doug Brocail suggested or if he's just come to it on his own. Picking up the tempo a little bit, and I like it.
Popped up. Jed Lowry moves in. 2 down. Last time the Astros shut out Milwaukee was May 1st last year. 5-0. Bud Norris was the winning pitcher. This could be the 3rd shutout win for the Astros this season. With J. Happ going the first 6. Wesley Wright 1/3 of an inning. Wilton Lopez 1 2/3. And now it's Aoki batting. Brewers down to their final out, and he hits one up the middle, and that's a single to center field. That's the 4th straight time he's been on base. 3 hits and hit by a pitch tonight. Ricky Weeks, who is 1 for 8 with 5 strikeouts in this 2-game series, is the batter. Ryan Braun on deck. So it'll be interesting to see if Weeks gets on. That's probably going to be it for Abad.
If Weeks reaches, it would put the tying run on deck. That would be a safe situation. A couple dangerous right-handed hitters. I'm sure Myers would come in at that point.
Here's ball 1 with Myers in the bullpen. And the high-scoring Texas Rangers coming in tomorrow night. It's nice to save all the bullets from that bullpen possible when going into a series against the Rangers. In the air to center field. Schaefer's over. Bogusevic in right center giving way, and that's the shutout win for the Astros and a sweep of this 2-game series. They now break a tie and move ahead of Milwaukee in the NL Central and get off to a great start on this homestand. Fernando Abad getting the final 3 outs, putting the lid on J-Happ's 3rd win of the season. Final score, Astros 4, Brewers nothing.